Alrighty, check one, check. Check one. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. This is episode number 139. We are slowly closing in on episode 150, which will be the capstone, the season finale of the third season here on the AfroMattt Show. Each one is about 50 because they come out weekly, so it's like 50 for I miss 2 weeks everywhere. I give myself 2 weeks to miss, so we're coming up on it. I'm pretty excited. I'm not gonna stop. I know it kind of sounds like I'm stopping, but I'm not. That being said, let's just get right into it. I want to apologize because on the last episode I said I wasn't going to talk about Israel-Palestine, but I just might, because it's super exciting. It's super fun. I mean, not fun in like the bouncy castle kind of way, but fun in kind of the shit's fucked and World War III might happen. Who knows? It's kind of it's the kind of fun of reaching into like a black box that either has a mousetrap or some candy, Although I don't know which is the candy in this situation. But this episode might be the most background journalistic, research I've put into an episode. And we are compiling. So recently online, you may have already noticed a lot of people are picking sides. So you have celebrities tweeting, I would love to live on the Gaza Strip. I support Israel and everything they do, or whatever they're tweeting. They're posting Instagram photos. They're picking sides. People are choosing their teams. It's like when you're playing dodgeball, right? You line up, you go, choose your teams, team captains. There's no team captains, but people are choosing their teams. They're going to different sides of the gymnasium right now. And I compiled the teams so far. So this is the teams as they stand right now. And I'm going to be honest, Israel, obviously, they're favored because, well, I feel like I can say this, and this is kind of like not news, but the Jews are favored because they have access to most things, access to the media, access to companies, wealth, lots of stuff. They have access to lots of stuff. So let's go into the teams so far. So the BDS list, this is where I kind of started, and this is what I found. So this is a list of Israeli companies, people who are invested in, Israel, people who have research centers, manufacturing plants, development centers in Israel, artists who perform in Israel already, still. And this list, interestingly enough, they where was this list when I don't even know. Like this is an interesting kind of turning point where I think a lot of liberal people are kind of like hitting a point where they're like, wait a second, do Jewish people actually own everything? And they're kind of scratching their heads, and they're like, this list, I'm not even kidding you when this list is, if I read everything, this would be an hour of just me reading. So, I guess I'll read some of them. Here we go. Academics. This is just academics. Holy shit. There's agriculture, television. I'm sure that television one is long. Media. Retail. So let's start with academics. This is a bunch of school. American Council for Education. Jesus Christ. The American Federation of Teachers. I don't know how. I guess they're Jewish. I don't know. Are they linking to any proof? This one just says page not found, so who knows? Arizona State, Andrews University, Bard College, Brown University, Catholic University. That one surprises me, to be honest. College of New Jersey, Colorado College, College State University, Fairfield. So all these universities, all these colleges, Kansas State College or Kansas State University, Lawrence University, McDaniel College. I don't know any of these. New Jersey City University. You know, all these places somehow in one way or another support Israel. Let's go to television and music. Holy shit. This is like, this list is way longer. Yeah. These people, Dave Feldman. You wouldn't have to, you're no genius for knowing that they support Israel. Goldwyn, Goldsheen, Goldberg, Elon Gold. This guy's name is Elon Gold. Andrew Hurwitz. Kivowitz. Courtney Kivowitz. I don't know who this is. Patrick Knapp. So, I mean, I guess these people maybe are famous. Maybe not. I don't really know any of these names. Television and movies, music, Infected Mushroom. Who are these people? And how do they even... Anthrax. Great. The band... Oh, Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy Osbourne supports...
Any plans you have here on the Holy Land?
Wow, this is like a...
On the stage, maybe some kosher surprises or...
Trick away, there'll be no fun, will there? It's just come...
What the fuck is Ozzy Osbourne saying?
Come to the show, have a good time. It's just fun. It's like just party time, you know. I mean,
so she asked, "What is your opinion on the Middle East?" And he said, "It's fun. It's party time." And I can respect that answer.
And on the stage, maybe some kosher surprises or...
Trick away, there'll be no fun, will there? It's just come to the show, have a good time. It's just fun. It's like,
why are people asking Ozzy Osbourne his opinions on the Middle East, by the way? Oh shit, he took his glasses off.
Have a good day today.
Man, that guy must... Man, is his brain melted or something?
And new band members and everything.
So Ozzy Osbourne, the Silver Jews. This band. Okay. Madonna, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber, Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce, Alanis Morissette. Okay. Pitbull, the Black Eyed Peas, Alicia Keys, Rihanna. So these are so we're taking sides right now. So so Israel, of course, has everyone. Now there are a few people that have come out for Palestine. So we've got those people, like all those schools for Israel. Harvard, interestingly enough, came out very pro-Palestine. So they were saying, like, all the students, they wrote like a formal letter saying that they think that what's going on is badass or something like that. So now they're like walking down the streets, they're protesting. They've had like a 2-day protest going on. I don't really care. Also, I am wearing a shirt from Northrop Grumman, which is a company that produces weapons. So let's see. Amy Schumer, Israel. So we're making teams now. Israel. Okay, so Amy Schumer came out and said, first they came, she posted this on her story. This is the Amy Schumer. First they came for LGBTQ, and I stood up because love is love. Then they came for immigrants, and I stood up because families belong together. Then they came for the black community, and I stood up because Black Lives Matter. Then they came for me, but I stood alone because I am a Jew. So she's taking it pretty well. Who else do we got? We've got Amy Schumer. We got Playboy. This was an interesting kind of change of pace. So Playboy canceled all relationship with Mia Khalifa, known porn star and I guess a model. So Mia Khalifa came out and said, because she is Palestinian, she said, I support Palestine. And she's like, pray for Gaza. And then Playboy came out and said, yo, we're cutting all ties with Mia Khalifa because we support Israel. We're not with that shit. So you have actual, like, full companies making public statements about what side of the war they're on. And this is why I wanted to make this sort of this fight here, because it seems the balance is interesting to see as the sand settles, as the dust settles here. So you have Playboy supporting Israel, Mia Khalifa supporting Palestine. All the Kardashians speak up in support of Palestine here. So we have, here is what the Kardashians, Kourtney and Kim, posted this. It is absolutely reasonable and logical to be opposed to the Israeli government's treatment of Palestinians, while simultaneously calling for the protection of the Jews in Israel and around the world. Hamas is a terrorist organization that is attacking civilians by land, air, and sea. The images of kidnapped Israelis are shocking and devastating. Given the thousands of years of prosecution of Jews, please know that your Jewish friends, even if they are not in Israel, are hurting and they are fearful. When things like this happen, non-Jews are silent. I understand many of us are afraid to voice an opinion because the crisis there is so nuanced and hard to understand, but we are afraid of saying the wrong thing. But we can and must always use our voices to denounce terrorism and senseless murder of civilians. So, I mean, and I was talking with my girlfriend about this, and this is such a stupid. I honestly, I put in so much work into finding out who was on whose team. I'm kind of tired of it, and it seems like the bit is kind of shit. But the bit has run its course. But I mean, yeah, I mean the people that support either side. Also, I'm kind of thrilled I'm surprised the word Jew is back. That's what I'm excited about, because I've been saying Jew this whole time. I've been kind of on the fence about whether I can say Jew, but now people are saying Jew, like Jews, like hard J, like when you say the Jews, it feels weird, but now everyone's saying it. So now I kind of feel like validated, and anti-Semitism is so back. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy what's going on. The marches and the people that are like kind of thrilled, like super super pumped on what's going on is I mean pretty shocking. There's I don't know why Harvard is marching in like support of I don't know, but I saw somewhere that Israel is using white phosphorus, which apparently like boils your skin alive, which is, I guess, is against the Geneva Convention. I mean, who cares about the Geneva Convention, right? I heard that Israel said they dropped flyers on Palestine and said, hey guys, you're free to go. We're about to bomb this place. And then when they were leaving, they bombed them while they were leaving. So, I mean, I don't know what to believe at this point. I don't know who. Honestly, I think that I've said this before, but it needs to be reclaimed by the Holy Land. The Catholic Church, as much as I hate the Catholic Church, needs to crusade onto their soil. They need to relaunch the crusade and set things in order. We need to start building McDonald's. And man, as shitty as it sounds, that is what needs to happen. I'm not saying to crusade and start killing people, but I'm saying to, not really a necessarily a trail of tears situation, but just, start building like shit that shit that's in America. Water parks, Disneyland, McDonald's, Outback Steakhouse, Golden Corral, Starbucks. Start popping these up everywhere, and you will have a slow crusade. That's what we need, is just a slow crusade. Once these people start getting really fat and really dumb and, loaded up on Zytham gum and glucosium or whatever the fuck, glucocellulate, whatever the fuck, red dye 40, just start pumping them full of this shit, and I think you'll have a pretty happy society. I think that the Palestinians and Israels can get along if they're at a Disneyland or waiting in line at a water park. I think that they can get along. It's just a matter of slowly invading, buying up land. The Catholic Church, I guarantee, has money. It's just a matter of, will the Jews sell it? And then if not, then what's the next move? But build water parks, build a Disneyland, build several Disneylands, build McDonald's land or something. Like, make it into a spectacle. Make Jerusalem into like a tourist destination where people are coming that want to see, like, Christians. Make it a Christian. People are walking around with funnel cakes. There's like a Ferris wheel or something, so you can see Jerusalem, like the all of Jerusalem. It'll be fun. Oh, kind of like a spend the night in a manger kind of situation where you come in and you knock on the door and you're like, three wise men bring you like a box of, it's all part of the experience. Make it an experience, right? Make it an experience. And I know that this all sounds like make it a white experience, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it would be less violent is what I'm saying. Is if we started doing that. If we started setting up shop around there. And I don't mean it I want peace there. And if that means setting up Shake Shacks, Five Guys burgers, I think that can cure the hatred that's going on there. Try to be mad at someone with a funnel cake in your hand. I dare you. I think that might be able to cure the situation over there, because it's not good. It's not good. And let me tell you, it's not going to get any better. It's been happening for 3,000 years or something. How 1,000 years, whatever. I don't know how long. But it's like, come on, guys. Get it together. If you guys can't figure it out, I know someone who can. And that is Mr. Disney himself. Ford, not General Ford. I think it's Henry Ford, the guy who invented the Ford motor car. He bought a giant swath of land in Brazil, and because he wanted to make rubber, he wanted to farm rubber because he owned every part of the manufacturing process for cars. So he owned the steel, he owned the lumber, whatever. He owned the coal to power to melt the steel, whatever. So he owned the whole process. He owned the processing plant. The only thing he didn't own was the rubber. So he wanted to own the rubber. So he's like, there's like only one spot you can mine rubber, and that's apparently in the Amazon. So Ford made a giant city, not really a giant city. It was like a downtown area. But he built houses and invited these people to come to the Amazon. Everyone was starting to get sick and heat stroke and shit. But Ford was so close to taming the Amazon. He just needed to stay a little bit longer and treat his people a little bit nicer, because there was a few revolts and stuff like that because they weren't getting paid well enough or something like that. The rubber slaves were like not happy about the sleeping arrangements or something about the food. but he had like a dancing square where they were doing line dancing, and it was a fun town, right? That example, it could be made for all of Jerusalem. Just slowly start, like, I'm thinking cruise ships take a pit stop, a bunch of old white people get out, and it's I'm thinking casinos. I'm thinking it needs to clean it up a little bit. I think it's a little dusty right now. In my head, it's a little dusty. I'm thinking desert chic. Are you listening? Desert chic. We're talking white marble. We're talking tiles, white tiles with like gold lining, gold grout. We're talking large blue fountains. Can you imagine it? Talking walkways that are paved with solar panels. Are you here? Are you listening? I think that we can find a happy middle ground. And of course, I'm thinking somewhere like a mix between like California, Bel Air mixed with Disneyland, mixed with like Las Vegas. Make it a bit of a shakeup of all that. Add a little bit of the tourism. People dressed up like it's like the Middle Ages, kind of like it's like maybe you do a little crusade. Like they do is like Civil War reenactments. Do some crusade reenactments. Make it fun. Have a little fun with it. Explore some of your options. This is how we fix things there. And of course, some people will be angry, but those people can be silenced with money, right? Or with the CIA and other methods, which may be necessary. It may be necessary, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But this is how we solve the Middle East crisis. That, or we just drop 5 nukes on the Middle East and just like really bust it wide open. I mean, I'm for the first option, which is making it into a tourist continent, a tourist country. Just the whole country is tourism. You can go anywhere, and it's just like fat American people rolling around in scooters, like mobility scooters. That's kind of the dream scenario, I think, personally, is that. The second alternative is an endless war where we don't involve and we don't get Disney involved and stuff like that. Third option is everyone's getting nuked. I mean, out of those 3 options, I think that a slow invasion, a slow crusade, claiming their land for Disney and, Universal Studios Park, Six Flags, fun shit, water parks. It'll be fun. Casinos, resort. Get a Trump tower in there. Get a Trump casino in there. That'll be fun. I mean, okay, what is this? Zayn Malik. He's for Palestine. He said, quote, #Free Palestine. That is it. We have Madonna. What did Madonna say? Madonna said, what is happening in Israel is devastating. Watching all these families and especially children being hurted, assaulted, and murdered in the streets is heartbreaking. Imagine if this happened to you. It's unfathomable. Conflicts can... Okay, first off, if this did happen to me, I have the lowest will to live. I think I would kill myself almost instantly. But that's just me. Conflicts can never be resolved with violence. Unfortunately, humanity does not understand this universal truth. Also, I like how Madonna, who looks like a lizard, is giving advice. And I do realize that's an ad hominem attack, but she is not really. It's ad hominem is targeting a human. She barely is. We live in a world ravaged by hate. My heart goes out to Israel, to families and homes that have been destroyed, to children who are lost, to innocent victims who have been killed, to all who are suffering and have suffered from this conflict. I'm praying for you. I'm aware that this is the work of the Hamas, and there are many innocent people in Palestine who do not support this terrorist. This tragic attack will only cause more suffering for everyone. Let us pray for Israel, for peace, for the world. Ooh, so she came out for... She specifically said praying for Israel. So I'm gonna chalk Madonna up to Israel, Team Israel. Which I didn't know Madonna was is she Jewish? She is very famous, so would not be surprised. Sarah Silverstein, which I mean Silverstein is like one step away from Goldberg, so and once again, I'm not guys, I'm not anti-Semitic, please. I love Jewish people. I love them with the bottom of my heart. I love them. I want to kiss them all on the lips and okay. My sister and nieces and nephews are there. Okay. So I mean, I'm not going to read all this. Sarah Silverstein, Gal Gadot posted just a picture and said, "Stand with Israel. I stand with Israel. You should too. The world cannot sit on the fence while these horrific acts of terror are happening." Natalie Portman said, "My heart is shattered for the people of Israel. Children and women, elderly have been murdered and abducted in their own homes. I'm in horror at these barbaric acts, and my heart is pounding with love and prayer for the families of all affected." Seinfeld said, "I lived and worked at kibbutz in Israel when I was 16, and I have loved our Jewish homeland ever since. My heart is breaking for these attacks and atrocities, but we are also a very strong people in our hearts and minds. We believe in justice, freedom, and equality. We strive and flourish no matter what. I will always stand with Israel and the Jewish people." Well, that wasn't very funny, Seinfeld. Yale said a list of companies that have condemned Hamas's attack. This is funny. Yale found out something very interesting about everything. Amazon, American Eagle, American Express, Apple, BlackRock, Bank of America, Blackstone, Bloomberg, Boeing, Bristol, Chanel, Citadel, ooh, Citadel, spooky, Citi, Comcast, Dell, Delta Airlines, Disney, Forbes, Cox, Fox, Google, Intel, Intuit, Johnson & Johnson, there we go, JP Morgan, MasterCard, Meta, formerly known as Facebook, Microsoft, Morgan Stanley, the NFL, NVIDIA, Oracle, Pfizer, there we go, ding, 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 ding. Let's look at this Twitter post. Pfizer, what's up? Albert, so Pfizer sent this. What is this? When I sent this letter below, spoke out, whatever. Okay, so apparently this guy got fired. I don't know. I'm not going to read all that shit, to be honest. Tesla, oof. UPS. Volkswagen. Well. I am surprised that Volkswagen is in support of Israel. I will say. Walmart. The Warner Brothers, okay. Wells Fargo, WWE. I mean, hello, Yale University. What conclusion can you make from this list of almost every company in existence that supports Israel? What conclusion could you possibly make? Is it that the two are connected? The Jewish people and massive support from literally every person on the planet. Not every person, every major corporation on the planet. What conclusion can we draw, Yale? You're smart, Yale. You're smart. Yale, come on, get that thinking cap on. What conclusion can you draw when every major corporation supports Israel? Oh, what can I? Serious crap. They're trying to turn you gay. The Jews are putting chemicals in the water that are turning the freaking frogs gay. Dude, that voice hurts every time. That guy lives like that. It's almost as bad as RFK Jr. And I want to say I can't. Oh, man. Yeah, Yale just discovered that everything's ran by Israel. I think that's what they just accidentally stumbled upon, which is something that people that they hate, which is probably like conspiracy theorists, found out a long time ago. Anyways, let's move along. I really don't care. So those are the teams. Essentially, like a few colleges. Also, these colleges, like Yale University, I feel like is very Jewish. They probably get so much funding from, like, I don't know how they came out, but it's mostly the students, because I think the students did it. But I mean, the faculty, they're like, hey, kids, you're going to fucking cost me my job. Shut the fuck up, probably. That's probably what they're saying. But let's continue with the news. So that's the position of Palestine. Oh my, holy shit. Oh, we're starting a new episode. No, we're playing the news noise. The news. Also, I honestly am getting tired of the Israel-Palestine thing, so I just wanted to do that kind of as a, picking sides, who's on whose side. You'll never know which side I'm on. I've already told you which side I'm on. I'm on either nuking it or claiming it for for Disney, really, pretty much. Disney and Walmart. I just imagine myself standing in front of Jerusalem, which I guess is that's like the Holy Land. That's like Christian. That's like Judeo-Christian Mecca, right? People go there. This is where Jesus was born. This is where God was born. I imagine just standing there and looking around. I'm like, dude, this would make a sick ass Walmart parking spot. Hey, Paradise, put up a parking lot. Hey, Jerusalem, where's the parking? And you know how like Disneyland has like 45 acres of parking, and it's like, oh, you're in the Lion parking lot. Remember Lion when you come back on the tram, just a giant parking lot outside of Jerusalem. You're in the Joseph. You're in Muhammad parking lot. Remember Muhammad for when you come back. That type of situation. I saw someone tweet, and this is kind of messed up, but they said it was like one of those like grind set guys. Well, it wasn't him, but it was a picture of like one of those grind set dudes who's like, I get up at 3 a.m. every morning and I grind, like one of those dudes. But it said, how are you gonna worship Muhammad and still have no profits? I thought that was pretty funny, because it's like something they would say, like, get your grind on. Okay, let's get into the news. The news. All right, here we go. What's going on in the news? We've got catalytic converter scheme. I always like a good scheme. Californians plead to a $600 million nationwide catalytic. This is a nationwide catalytic converter theft scheme. 3 members of a California family have pleaded guilty to conspiracy for the role in a ring that shipped $600 million worth of stolen catalytic converters from California to New Jersey. Dude, they're nationwide with their theft. Sacramento, California. 3 members of a California family. And all this was being handled by 3 members of a family. Isn't that crazy?
Disappearance of Natalie Holloway. The change is coming for the site of a deadly school shooting and the new events just added to the Olympic Games. These stories and much more in tonight's rundown.
What if she said the new event added to the Olympic Games was school shooting? Brothers Tu Sang Vang, 32, and Andrew Vang, along with their mother, Monica Mao, 58, were part of a nationwide network of thieves, dealers, and processors who provided stolen auto anti-smog devices in a metal refinery for more than $600 million. Jesus. So the thing with, actually, my friend got their catalytic, he went to Kansas City and got his catalytic converter stolen. Like day one in Kansas City. It was crazy. But that's interesting. Interesting. So obviously Monica Mao is like the patriarch. I imagine her like, if you've ever seen Daredevil, I think there's like an Asian lady who's like making all the meth or like the crack or whatever. And that's who I imagine here. She's like the kingpin. Although there is a person named Kingpin in that show. She is like a kingpin, but not that guy. You know, making orders. No one really suspects her because she's kind of like an old lady. She's really cute, really small, and she can kind of just go shopping. But then when she gets back and she walks in, she's chopping people's fingers off who are, you know, melting metal too slow. She's whipping people in the sweatshop. She's a ruthless boss. And you have to be when you're in charge of a $600 million company. They might, you know what I smell? Netflix docuseries. Not a documentary, but a sort of, you know, fictionalized, I'm thinking Breaking Bad kind of situation. You know, old lady goes bad when her son commits suicide. So she goes into business with her. I'm also completely making up the entire. This is how everyone should read news headlines. You read the head. you read the headline and then the first line, and then you create in your head a. Oh God. Okay, so you create in your head a very dramatic retelling of the story that you will then tell everyone else what's going on. I'm going to be in the office and I'm going to be like, did you hear about that lady who her son committed suicide and she went into business selling catalytic converters with her 2 children? It's crazy. It was like Breaking Bad. She shot 14 people. She was chained to a thing. She noticed a guy had a shard of glass from a plate, and that was her first kill. She literally killed people. She had to tie him to the post. You know, I'm just like retelling. They're like, hey, you're literally retelling. This is, I think you're getting this confused with just Breaking Bad. 21 people from California to New Jersey have been charged in the case, prosecutors said. The 3 Sacramento family members pleaded guilty for conspiring to transport these devices in return for more than $33 million. She's there. She's like, Skywer. Okay, I'm sorry. I am the one who knocks. Okay, that's what I was going to say, but I am the one who walks? Like, okay. These are too free. These are really too free. Tosu Vang also pleaded guilty of 39 related to money laundering. Awesome. This is a TV show that I would watch. You've got the son doing money laundering. You've got the mom cracking the whip. You've got, you know, someone's probably doing the you know, the behind the scenes, flying, trying to talk with, you know, connect the dots, finding more people. The black market for a catalytic converter is above $1,000 each. Holy shit, dude. $1,000 for a catalytic converter? My car, it was worth $5,000 when I bought it. Are you telling me like 20% of my car's value is in its converter? Doesn't it just make it make less smog? Honestly, these people might be responsible for a large chunk of the pollution that happens. From like, if you track how long they've been doing this, they're probably responsible for a lot of smog in the air. California amounts for the 37% of all catalytic converter theft claims nationwide. Honestly, and I'm going to be honest here, I wouldn't even know if my catalytic converter was stolen because I do not know what it is. I'm not really a man when it comes to cars and car things, car related items. I didn't even like the most major thing I've ever done on my car was recently I changed its front light bulb. And that was kind of like I had to ask the AutoZone person, like, do I take off the glass and then they like, no, you put it in from behind. I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out. But like that was even a thing. So my car might not even have a catalytic converter. I'm just riding dirty right now. That being said, let's continue on with the news. I found this is an interesting YouTube channel. This is the Rothschilds. I'm sure they support Israel. The Rothschilds private YouTube channel. It's called Wadsdon Manor, and it has 36,000 subscribers. And it's the private domicile, the manor of the Rothschilds. So the Rothschilds, as you know, are the richest family in the world.
Department, and we're both conservation assistants. My role is head of learning and part. Quite quickly.
So the Rothschilds are the richest, probably the richest family, private family on the planet, worth, I mean, publicly billions, but privately probably trillions of dollars in assets. They can trace their lineage to, you know, they're they're ancient money, really, and they control a lot of the things going on. They fuel both sides of wars. If you think that they are picky on who they support, they're not. They support everyone, but this channel is pretty interesting. It goes through the entire manor and interviews these people.
And I am folding artist, and a very important part of my activities to research the history of.
This guy's job is to fold napkins. This guy is paid probably $100,000 a year to fold napkins, like origami. Like, this is the kind of, like, this guy's paid millions to fold napkins. I want to find one with, so I guess they open it up to, like, people coming in. But, like, look at this estate. It's stunning. It truly is stunning, but... I mean, and this is, like, one property. This is, like, where they, like, grew up. This is where, like, the Rothschilds originated from. So now they have all propagated and they own land in Texas and California, several brownstones in New York and whatever. They've got old ancient money. But I thought it was interesting that they have their own YouTube channel where they just kind of post tours.
A small team of gardeners have been looking after them, so we've been unable to plant our usual bedding displays on the parterre, and a free exhibition by fashion photographer Nick Knight in the Coach House Gallery at the State Square, on buses and in the shop. We'd love you to support us by buying homemade sandwiches, salads, cakes and ice creams from the Treatery, Woodland Cafe and the Coffee Bar. And
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, honestly, it looks amazing, and I would love to go there. Volunteer at the Rothschild treasury. These golden goblets, crystalline. But I thought that was a pretty interesting channel. I mean, not very entertaining, but yeah. Let's continue. Cardi B reveals she's so busy she has tenants who haven't paid rent in 9 months. Cardi B is pissed off because her tenants, she's having to go in and she's going to have to start kicking people out of their homes. Everyone has been talking about the recent real estate and generational wealth, but Cardi B has shared the downsides of being a landlord. You know what? Landlords don't get enough sympathy, I don't think. Everyone supports landlords. I mean, no, landlords support everyone. Where would I be without a landlord? Homeless? Remind you of anyone else? Like literally everyone on the planet? Without landlords, we're all doomed. They're the flotation of... You know that picture of the guy with his arms out and he's protecting the kids from all the arrows and bullets and stuff? That's landlords. And you're the little kid playing with his toys. Meanwhile, landlords hold everything back. Not enough people respect landlords. I actually tip my landlord every time I pay rent. I give them 10%, sometimes 15%, because they're so good. Now you might think, Matt, you've got to be joking. You don't tip your landlord. No, I'm not. I literally invite him to my house and we make sweet, sweet love to each other. Well, my landlord is not Cardi B, so it is less sexual and more ravenous, I would say. But, you know, it's what's going on. Later, she posts a follow-up video about while lying on her bed sporting an iced-out diamond chain. The Bronx rapper insists she still made money off the investment, so she isn't bothered. Dude, listen to this. This is how easy it is to be a landlord. She has tenants who haven't paid rent in 9 months, and she says she still made money off the investment and she's not bothered. Wow, that's crazy.
We have tenants that haven't even paid fucking rent for like 9 months. 9 months. And sometimes like...
Yo, Cardi B, stop loading.
Busy, and like our house managers, like they'll be so busy that I'll be like, you know what? Don't even fucking take them to court because we just be so fucking tired. Like we don't even have time for that because we just be doing so much shit. Like sometimes people be like, oh, get property. Like, please, babe. Oh, let's not even talk about, oh shit. Let's not even talk about the Dominican Republic Airbnb that this nigga bought me. Always something. Please. I don't want properties as gift.
Someone bought her properties.
I don't want properties as gift.
This is a weird level of wealth where you're like getting properties for like birthday gifts. That's super interesting. I remember I used to think my friend was like the richest person on the planet because when he got into a car accident, his parents bought him a new car. But this is like a freakish level of wealth where you know, maybe like a honeymoon gift, you buy someone an Airbnb in Texas. That's freakish. That's freakish.
Please. And we planning to buy another property, like we debating because it's like, you know, we like tired of renting in LA. Like it's like we really want to buy a house in LA, but we also like it's like, do we want to buy a house in LA or do we want to buy something like in Miami? Like and that's something that me and Offset have been debating about, but it's like right now, like it's like one of the biggest things that be stressing us out is like our properties, whether it's home properties or whether investment properties. So no, I love me a good fucking brick.
I also love taking financial advice from Cardi B. She honestly seems like she probably has a pretty good Jewish financial advisor who, and I am specifying that he's Jewish just because he's a financial advisor, so obviously, but she seems like she's got things under control and she's making a lot of money. diversify your assets. She's invested in gold and diamond. Obviously, it's on her neck. She's invested, probably in BlackRock or some sort of hedge fund. S&P 500, let it sit. Coca-Cola, stuff like that. And property. This is the future this is the future of wealth. You know, it ain't no Rothschild, but you might be seeing the Cardi B family line. God, how retarded. Like, the richest people are somehow
Fishing, right?
We got to be successful, so we don't be
yes, like, all right.
But it be like that.
All right, so look. So are we stressing that like tenants are not paying the rent and shit? No, because we don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just don't care. Like, it's like I'm not moving my shit out the way, so it's like I go to court and I could file paperwork.
Dude, that is so sick. It's so sick. Imagine having Cardi B as your landlord, though. All right, let's continue. Oprah's spiritual coach. So Oprah's faith healer, quote unquote, and this is the craziest piece of news I've ever seen. Oprah's faith healer has received 99 years for raping 8 girls and women, allegedly 600 more victims. Joa Teixeira de Ferreira, a popular Brazilian faith healer who was formerly touted by Oprah Winfrey, received a 99-year prison sentence Monday for multiple accounts of R-word and S-word abuse. According to Agência Brasil, the sentence delivered by Judge Marcos Boachat Lopes Filho is the result of charges regarding 8 victims of sexual abuse during spiritual consultations between 2010 and 2018. John of God gained international fame for his alleged faith healing abilities, garnering support and admiration from celebrities like Oprah Winfrey. Former President Bill Clinton, that's a good friend to have. That's someone you know, if they're rooting for you, you're in the right. Oh man, that gives me shivers to know Bill Clinton and this man and Oprah Winfrey are having Zoom, getting into a Discord chat. In 2012, Winfrey visited Ferreira, recording an interview that aired in 2013. At the time of the interview, the popular show described Ferreira as inspiring. Oprah Winfrey tweeted, "Have you all heard of John of God? My visit with him was really fascinating." Yeah, she's like, apparently he traffics children, and it's very fascinating, and I will be making a lot of money shortly. God Christ. And he called himself John of God. Like, these people need to be like, man, I don't even know what needs to happen with these people. I feel like they just need to rot. I don't even know if like hanging them by their feet or something. Like, I don't really even like torture, but for some of these people, it's just like there's nothing that can happen. And this is why people probably believe in hell, is there's nothing on this earth that is bad enough for this person. It needs to be otherworldly. You need to toss him into a black hole and spaghettify this man. It needs to be mythical pain and torture and suffering. Like, this is a mythical levels of horrible. This guy is a now this next part, I'm going to be honest, is pretty hard to read. According to the Daily Mail, Sabrina Bittencourt, an activist whose investigations helped lead to his arrest, claimed that Ferreira held young girls captive in farms where they were forced to have babies that were sold to people in multiple continents. Hundreds of girls were enslaved over years, lived on farms, and served as wombs to get pregnant and for their babies to be sold. These girls were murdered after 10 years of giving birth. We have a number of testimonies. This man wasn't a child trafficker. He was a newborn baby trafficker. This is a real person, and this is news that came out This week, no one is talking about it. Oh, actually, it came out in July. I haven't heard of it. This is the first I've heard of it. I guarantee you it's the first you've heard of it. This is a man who was farming babies and selling them to people. Now we've got to ask the question: is who's buying babies? Who are the people buying? You've got to look at Bill Clinton and see if he's had any recent babies. Why do they want babies? Serious crap. They're trying to eat babies. They're eating babies. It turns them young. They're grinding up the babies. They're putting them in smoothies, and they're drinking them. Oprah Winfrey looks so young. You want to know why? Wake up! Wake up! I'm going to turn you into a man. That's my Alex Jones, because Alex Jones is right. This guy is farming babies. Why would anyone farm babies? They're taking babies and they're harvesting the adrenochrome gland. They're harvesting it and they're eating it and they're putting it in their blood and they're drinking it. This is what's happened. Like, I honestly can't even really deny it anymore. Like, if someone asks, "Oh, really? Do you really believe that?" If I say, "Yeah, I'm kind of into conspiracy theories," and they're like, "Well, you don't believe that people are like eating babies and stuff." I'm like, "No, definitely they are eating babies. Someone out there has a desire. There is a demand for babies. That's all I can say. There is a demand for babies out there. I don't know what demand. I mean, he's the supply and he's selling, so there must be demand. That's just economics. So there's a demand for babies out there. I don't know what for. God knows what for. Best case scenario, they harvest it for adrenochrome. Worst case scenario, they raise it as a slave or something. I don't know. But this is stuff that's happening on this planet that makes me truly terrified of the human. The truly terrifying thing is humans' capacity for true evil. Animals will, little animals, a wolf isn't capable of evil. It's only capable of killing. It doesn't do anything that isn't against its nature. It is truly trying to survive. Humans have capacity for pure evil. It's crazy. It's crazy. Now let's continue. Let's go to TikTok time.
Come here. I'm going to grab this guy in the pink hat.
Let's go to TikTok time. Oh, wait. No, this isn't. Oh, this is TikTok time, I think. No, this is. Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. TikTok time. Here's our favorite sales guru on stage.
Come here. I'm going to grab this guy in the pink hat. Come here real quick. Come here. Let me show you what I'd fucking do with him. Steve, how old are you?
52.
Steve is 52 years old. I could call him Comeback Steve. If you'll physically get right and you'll take care of your family, you'll make more money than you know what to do with.
This guy was forced to come to a convention and listen to this guy talk, and he's about to get...
Steve, take your shirt off.
Forced to take his shirt off.
Come on, Steve. Steve, come here. We're going to make a deal with Steve. Okay, listen. I'm going to give Steve $10,000. Okay? Listen. And that's fuck you money for Steve. But I'm going to give Steve 10 grand if in 120 days, which will give you 4 months, which he's not that out of shape, okay, he can get a six-pack. Okay, now who thinks Steve can do it?
I'm telling you right now, if you offered me $10,000 to get a six-pack, I wouldn't eat for a month. I would literally eat grains of rice to sustain myself so I don't pass out for a month until by just natural, does my fat, just my body consuming my own fat, that I just by default have abs. I'll walk up there all feeble. I look like I'm walking on like toothpicks. And I go up on stage and I flex. I flex with all my strength, and I get my $10,000, and I leave this, and I'm wheeled off the stage with my cash.
Okay, he can get a six-pack. Okay, now who thinks Steve can do it?
Also, like, this is what money can do, is like Mr. Beast could do something along those lines. Like, whoever loses the most weight in a month, you know, get a bunch of fatties in the room, and whoever loses the most weight in a month wins like 1,000 times however much weight you lost or whatever, you know. And then you would have people that go from 400 pounds to 200 pounds and gain $200,000. You know, like people that, like, in a month, people would go crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a couple more videos. Well, fuck it, we'll watch them.
How did the car dictator Kim Jong-un acquire weapons of gas?
I like this video.
How did the car dictator Kim?
It's how did the car dictator Kim Jong-un
acquire weapons of gas destruction? The Kim
This is lore about the Cars movie.
Jong-make has ruled North Korea for at least 3 different models, with the most dangerous of them being the current ruler, Kim Jong-un. His high-speed pursuit of acquiring nuclear weapons has caused many leaders in the westbound world to call him a tyrant. But
a tyrant?
Ironically,
Get it?
It would be the westbound world who would accidentally lead room to getting a weapon of gas destruction when North Korean spies snuck a camera into the premiere of the Oppenheimer biopic and used the film's step-by-step guide on how to build a nuke. Now Kim Jong-un has become Speed, the destroyer of piston cups.
I like that. That's a good little Kim Jong-un weapons of gas destruction. That's good. Oh, also, I love this video. We'll end on this video. Day in the life.
This is a day in my life. We're at War Edition. After hearing that there was a major
So that was We're at War Edition. So she's in Israel.
This is a day in my life. We're at War Edition. After hearing that there was a major lack of gluten-free, celiac-safe food at army bases across the country, we got together with a gluten-free bakery in Jerusalem to make sure those soldiers got fed. On our way to the bakery, the city of Jerusalem felt eerie and empty. We immediately started baking breads, cookies, and cakes to deliver across the country to different soldiers, thanks to volunteers who offered to drive for us.
The very next scene is Hamas on fire. Palestine on fire. It's pretty good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this, please share with a friend. If you didn't, tell me why in the comments below, or send me a private message on Instagram, Twitter, or wherever. Send me an email, Matt at what is it? The AfroMattt Show @gmail.com. So shoot me a message anywhere. I'm pretty quick to respond. And I like the support. So please reach out. Take care. And goodbye. I feel like I want to play Why Can't We Be Friends? Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? That's what I played on the output last time, and I really do like this. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.